Say hi.
Hi.
Oh, that's Robbie, my little guy here, watching me do the audio blog tonight. Rob Greeno, livewiththeblogs.com. We've got some ice, snow, and rain on the way. I can tell you just going into this, both models took up the precipitation amounts. The question is the timing here, so let's get right into it. We've got ourselves set up here with some cold air still continuing to push down from the south. You see it right in this area here. We'll watch this little system here, but this is the main player, obviously. This is going to get over to the east coast and then work its way up. Still trying to hug the coast, so that means more than likely we're going to see snow, ice, and rain in the mix with this storm, all three as we go into the next 24 to 36 hours. With that in mind, let's start off with some temperatures and show you what we're looking at. And what we're looking at as far as the temperatures is, you see this little patch right in here, this little digging of cold air. This is going to shoot down tomorrow night right in this region, but these are the current temperatures across the country, and you can see a lot of places below freezing east of the Mississippi, even a cold night down into Florida. There's your dew points. Very dry air up here, moisture starting to build as we go down south. Now, as we look a little further south, this is the surface map. There's a high. You see some cloudy skies. It's called a dirty high because there's some cloud cover with it. Already some warmer moisture streaming over top of this system at this hour, although those clouds are also, again, from this little bit of snow shower activity working its way off. There's the clouds down south already starting in advance of this system. So there's our surface map. There's our storm now down by Houston, and we'll continue to watch that. In the northeast, you've got winds out of the northwest. You got winds out of the south here. Something's going to meet in the middle, and we'll see that as we go into tomorrow night. Now, here's what we look at on the map. This is the new NAM just in, and I want to show you what's going on. This is about 27 hours out, which would be tomorrow at around 10 o'clock at night. You see the 32 degree. This is a 6-foot temperature, 6 feet off the ground, basically surface temperature that we look at. 2-meter temperature, and there's your 32 is that purple line. You see it's plenty cold in here. Temperatures in the teens. There's a 14 to 14, it's 16. And then what we look in here is the moisture starting. Now this layer right here may take a little while to get. This is very light precip, and I think with the dry column of air, this is more like Virgo. This is the real precip. This is at 10 o'clock. We take you through 30 hours, and there's your 32 degree line at the surface. Above the surface, you're looking at, again, a start of some light snow in this area. This is actually more of a this is actually an increase in the precipitation as we've seen from the earlier runs today. So, yeah, I think now it's going to start as a little bit of snow for a lot of areas. I kind of thought it was just going to be freezing rain, but looking at some of the new runs, it should start as a little bit of snow. This would be about 1 o'clock in the morning. And as we scroll down here, and you can see there's the total precip. A little more than a tenth of an inch, a little more down here. You can see that northeast wind. See how that's plowing in? This is the winds coming in off the ocean as there's some colder air down at the surface. So this is where we're starting to get that moisture come in over the top. Now, this is at 30 hours, and this will take us into, this is about 1 o'clock in the morning. Here we go, about 4 o'clock in the morning. Still dealing with that 32 right along I-95. This is at 4 a.m., but you're now starting to get into some light to moderate precip. This is where it should start to change over to freezing rain right in this area, and some snow continuing up in the Lehigh Valley right in this spot here, but this would be some freezing rain. And then over to Jersey and Delaware, it's already starting to change over to just rain. So by the time we get to about 7 o'clock in the morning, here it is. Look how quick that 32 degree line shoots up. And this would be Lancaster County. This is Berks. Reading sits right about here. And then the Lehigh Valley right in here. Allentown sits right in that line right in there. So you would have this problem with ice now, snow to ice in these areas. And this is where I think it's definitely a snow day, because of the timing here at rush hour on Tuesday morning. And then you've got precip down here getting heavier, but it's already in the mid-30s at least. It's projected. The NAM tends to be a little warmer, so we have to watch this. If this shifts a little bit south, only by about 25, 30 miles an hour, 30 miles, and you've got ice in the greater Philadelphia area, but it does look like it does change over. This is about 10 o'clock in the morning. There's our storm itself. 40s already down from Dover to the beaches. It's rain, and it's going to get heavy soon. And then once you get up here again, you're still looking at toward the Poconos and the Hudson Valley, and there would be snow and ice in this region. Everybody else starting to get into a very cold, windy, wet rain. This is through 10 o'clock in the morning, and this is around in the afternoon of Tuesday. And you can see that it's warm enough here in a lot of spots, just above freezing. and then there's your precip amounts starting to pile up here. Now again, this is the suspect spot. If this can stay near freezing, then you've got some ice problems developing in the lower Susquehanna and Lehigh Valley. It's a very borderline situation as we take a look at that. And then as we go along here, you can see everything, the heaviest precip is offshore, and that's where the warmest weather is. So I think we're going to just escape a major situation here and call this more of a nuisance with nothing more than some ice, but I don't see the power lines coming down at this point in any location because of this moisture being on the warmer side of the storm, and you can see it down here. And there's the storm winding up. Boy, you see it right here with the wind profile at about 10 meters or so. Move this along, and we take the storm system pretty much out of the picture, and it doesn't look like it's going to change back to snow at this point on the models. It gets out of here too soon. So here's how we look at this, and this is the NAM model for Philadelphia, I believe. Yeah, this is Philadelphia. And what we look at is at this 30 hours, there's your 29, 6-foot temperature off the ground. There's your 8, there's an inch of snow. And then we look at a thickness of 538, 539. So you're in the zone for snow. And then you look at this 850 temperature right here at minus 2.4. So these are the things we look at. But look how it shoots up right in here during the heaviest precip. If you follow that, that would be in these two columns right here, 35 and 36 degrees. And then you have 52 and 49. So an inch of rain, a cold rain now set up for Philadelphia, tries to shoot back, but it doesn't look like it's going to make it back to snow at this point. We'll keep an eye on this again in the back end for a little bit of snow. We want to take a look at Allentown and see the difference. Here's Allentown in that same marker and period. There's the 2. There's 20 degrees, very cold, 28, 0.26, 0.540. And then if you scroll down here, you're looking at 850 temperatures at minus just below freezing. So this could be 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 in the Allentown area with snow, and then it could change over at 32 degrees to some freezing rain. And this is the critical juncture right here of this half inch of ice, or is it just above freezing? It's going to be close for the Lehigh Valley and the lower Susquehanna Valley. That is your latest forecast on livewiththeblogs.com. We'll have full totals on the next blog.